Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. My name is Amanda. We home educate our 4 children in the UK. We are largely a Charlotte Mason family in terms of our educational philosophy. If you saw my most recent video, you will know that we've decided for our older children that instead of going down the route of GCSEs and A-levels, we are going to be working towards the US High School Diploma as our main qualification, as well as the SAT exam, which is a bit like a CAT test or an 11 plus sort of test, and some AP exams, which are subject specific exams if they want to go to university. We don't need to decide what those AP exams would be until nearing the final year. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how we have decided to approach our first year of doing the high school diploma, specifically for my oldest daughter who is 14. So she is going into year 10 in the UK. When my husband and I were thinking about whether doing the US diploma was even an option, we thought we actually need to do it properly because we don't know what we're doing. So we decided to go with a private school in the USA or an umbrella school. We've chosen to go with Homeschool Directive, and I will put a link in the description to their website if you're interested in finding out more about them. They're basically working with me to develop a bespoke curriculum, bespoke program of study for each of the children to make sure that it meets their needs and what we actually want for them, because that's still the most important thing for us, is to maintain freedom and flexibility over what they're learning, but also to make sure that it's done in a way which will work towards getting the qualification that we want. So the first thing to say is David and I decided that we wanted the option of the children graduating a year earlier than they would if they were in the UK. So I grew up in New Zealand and I graduated at around 17. In the UK, most people graduate at 18 if they do their A-levels. Otherwise, they graduate at 16 with the GCSEs. So the current plan is that they would graduate at the end of year 12, which would be like doing 1 year worth of A-levels. As time progresses, if it seems like actually, no, we want them to do another year, then we absolutely have the freedom to do that. So we are keeping our options open more than anything. The way we've chosen to start things off means that we can graduate them a year early, but if we want to keep going, we can always add on another year. That's not a problem. So what that means for my daughter, Sophia, is that the work she did last year is actually going to go towards her diploma. It's taken me quite a long time to look back over what she did and work out how we can allocate grades and credits for that. But that's where Homeschool Directive have been really, really helpful to make sure I do that properly. So what we need to achieve, what my daughter needs to achieve by the time she graduates, is 30 credits. Now, some states in America require 26 credits to graduate, some require 28. Private schools can, I guess, set their own number of credits. Homeschool Directive have asked for 30, and they've specifically allocated different categories or branches of education that those credits need to fall under. So we need 4 maths, 4 language arts, or what we would call in the UK English, 4 physical science, so that's classic science, biology, chemistry, etc. 4 social science, 4 languages or arts, fine arts, 4 electives, 4 physical education credits, and then 2 executive skills or life skills credits. So we have 4 years to achieve those 30 credits. So what I've done is looked at what we did last year and have allocated a couple of credits to the work that Sophia's already done. However, because we've been doing the Ambleside online curriculum as our base and the Charlotte Mason philosophy, we've been doing a wide range of subjects, so a whole big broad feast. In practice, I was only able to award her around 1.5 credits for last year's work, not because she hadn't done a lot, but simply because she's done a whole range of subjects, far more than a classic student in the US system would achieve. So what's going to happen is most of the work that she did last year is being carried over will build towards credits that she will achieve at the end of this coming academic year. So she'll start again in September when we're finished up again, and we're going to aim to finish up between June, July, kind of push it forward as close to June as possible. She will have earned a whole lot of credits, and most of them will have been developed over 2 years, taking into account a lot of last year's work. Okay, so first up, I managed to allocate her 3 half credits for last year's work because I thought she'd done enough in that particular subject to get half a credit. So firstly, she got half a credit for chemistry and physics. I just put that as a combined credit. She also got half a credit for netball and half a credit for art and design tech. So she's already bagged 1.5. Now let's talk about what she's going to finish working towards this year. So come June 2025, hopefully she will have a whole lot more. So first up for maths, she's going to complete Algebra 1, and we're going to be using Khan Academy as our main resource for Algebra 1, and she will also be starting the high school statistics. In fact, I think she's already 20% of the way through the statistics unit. For language arts or English, we're actually using her GCSE English Literature course and grade for this. So she has started GCSE English Literature last year. She started that a year early. She will be sitting the exam for that in May. And Homeschool Directive's policy is that if you do the GCSE coursework, that is 1 credit. If you sit the exam, that is a 2nd credit. So she will be getting her GCSE English Literature, and we will be putting that towards 2 of her language arts credits. For science, she will be getting a credit in biology, and she will also be starting another credit on human physiology, going a lot deeper into the body. She'll finish that one up the following year. We've got a lot of social science because the Ambleside online curriculum is heavily weighted in the humanities department. So this upcoming academic year, she will get a credit for British and European history, for world and ancient history, for geography, and also for philosophy and logic. Moving on to arts and languages, she's going to be getting half a credit for Spanish, half a credit for Hebrew, 1 credit for music, 1 credit for art and design tech. Then electives. So she's actually going to be getting 3 whole credits by the end of this upcoming year. The first one is intermediate Latin. So she's been studying Latin for several years, and I thought rather than just putting Latin, I want the transcript to show that she's actually already reached a certain level. So she'll be getting intermediate Latin by the end of next year. She's also going to be getting an elective credit on religious studies and on law. For physical education, she will be working towards a credit on cycling, which will be road cycling and mountain biking, and also half a credit on fitness. Fitness is just a time-based credit, so she needs to do a certain number of hours of physical exercise, and I've given her a whole range of different things she can do, including some mountain climbing, which we did recently on holiday. So adding all those together, by the end of this upcoming academic year, so by next June, she will have 17 of her 30 credits that she needs. It gives us quite a lot of flexibility to play with the final 2 years of the high school diploma. She may end up doing more than 30 and doing 32 or 33. When it comes to putting the transcript together, we can choose what are the most relevant credits for what she wants to do next. So if there's a particular university course she wants to do, we can pick and choose what credits go on there that are going to help her the most towards getting a place. There's also a whole lot of other things that we will be doing just as part of our educational life, which are not going towards credits, they're just enrichment. A lot of that will be our group work. That will include some nature study, it will include some travel, some recitation. My plan is to take her and her sister to Rome for a week as part of our ancient history study, and also that will just really supplement the work in Latin as well, which we're really excited about. Okay, so I've just given you a big long list of the credits that she's going to be achieving, and you might think, well, what does a credit involve? So I'm just going to share with you what I've put together for geography. So this is taking into account what she did last year when we were just working on the Ambleside online curriculum, and thinking, okay, what do we want to do this year, so that together over the 2 years she's got a good amount of work that would fall under the geography category. So to achieve this credit, she's got 5 areas that she's going to be learning about and exploring. First is navigation, map reading and orienteering, and she's going to have to do several different orienteering challenges, one in the City of London, one in the countryside, where she's got to navigate herself from A to B. Secondly is studying a continent. So last year she did a lot of work on Africa, so that's all included. So she went to South Africa for 2 weeks. We read a number of books, living books, based on some of the different countries. She also studied the geographic features of Africa and the political boundaries. So most of the work for that section she's already done. The third area is conservation. So for that she studied Isabella Tree's book Wilding, and we went to the Nep Estate, so she's already done that section of it. She's also going to be learning about local conservation challenges, so I'm going to ask her to go and interview one of the officers at Kent Wildlife Trust about what the local conservation challenges are and what they're doing about it. The fourth area is globalization. So she's already read 1493 for young people, which tracks how globalization really started expanding after the Americas were discovered by Europe. Again, she's already actually done quite a lot towards that. Lastly is to go on a number of field trips, and she's already done several geography focused field trips. And just to read some more living books about geographic discoveries. So the particular living books that we have used or are using for this credit include A Long Walk to Water, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, and she read the adult edition, Wilding, 1493 for young people, The Sea Around Us by Rachel Carson, Longitude by Darvis O'Bell, and she's going to be reading My Family and Other Animals. I think it's by Gerald Durrell. She's also going to sit some map reading tests from the Ordnance Survey. So that is just an example of how I've kind of put together a credit on geography. All of the credits look completely different, to be honest, and that is the wonderful thing about this route, is we can completely tailor what they're learning and how they're learning it. We just need to structure it in a way that can allocate credits at the end of each year. So I think she's actually quite excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be interesting to see how the workload that I planned actually plays out in practice. Is it too much? Is it too little? But I will check in again at the end of the term, kind of December-ish, and let you all know how it's going. If you've got any questions, do put them in the comments below. I always love to answer comments if I can. And yeah, have a great day.